It?
Hi.
Hi Sky, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So you're like pop's newest it thing. Everybody's talking about you, Sky. What is that like?
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't really. I mean, I guess I noticed it. It's really weird.
When did you start noticing it?
More when the one video came out, like 17, I guess, but like, cause it's always been pretty much an online thing. It's always been online attention, so I've never really noticed it outside of that. And then when Radio One put it on last week, it was really bizarre to me that I was on the radio over in Europe. I was like, how did that happen? Because I'm like, I'm used to it being all like MySpace, Facebook, Twitter, Threads.
Right. But this is major. It's major.
Yeah, it's definitely a big change.
So do you all of a sudden also feel pressure?
Yeah, I definitely do. It's just so weird now because it's like, no, it's so, like, when I do interviews now, my words are like getting changed and stuff, and I'm not used to that.
Well, I'm gonna put
No,
this
I'm just
interview
used
up
to
as is. So.
people never paid attention enough to actually do that. I remember I would do interviews, and they would be like, okay, let's make up 10 questions and answer them. Like, that's how they used to not, like, even put effort into it. So it was just funny.
But I'm really impressed. You just turned 18, right?
Yeah.
So you've worked with some really influential people in music. I mean, how did that come about for you? How did you started collaborating with some of these folks? It's incredible.
I guess it was, sorry about the big giant bug bite on my head. I'm sorry, like, it's huge. Anyways, it kind of just, I don't know. When I was 14, I approached Bloodshine Avant, and they signed, well, I was just like, sign me, and they did. So that helped. And then, like, online, I just kept getting approached by different people. They didn't know I was signed yet by Bloodshine Avant, and they'd approach me, because, they're all trying to find a new young girl or something at the time. I guess it was good timing, too. And it took me a while, though. That's the thing. People think it just, like, I came out of nowhere, so suddenly I was, like, man-made or something. And no, it took me, like, 4 years almost to get to just this point. And, yeah, and then I started meeting other producers. Bloodshy sent me up with this writer called Nicole Morier to start writing my record. And I used to go every day after school, I'd go writing sessions with Nicole. My mom would take me to Echo Park and drop me off and have me write with Nicole. And she would, like, introduce me to people and bring in other writers and stuff. And yeah, it was just, word spreads, I guess. And then I went to the UK for the first time because Frank Music had me DJ his first single launch. And I did a song with him. And then when I was in the UK, I was meeting up with record labels, and then all these record labels brought me to, like, meet Paul Epworth. And I wasn't even signed yet, and Paul Epworth decided to work with me. And same thing with Greg Kurstin. So I already worked with pretty much the main people on my record I already worked with before I signed to any record label. So a lot of my album, well, what I want on my album was done way before I even got to that point. And then when I signed on, it became even more serious. I got I had sessions with Linda Perry, Rob Vasari, Ryan Tedder. So it was it was impressive.
Hello, that's very impressive.
Like Femme Fatale, when I did that with Greg Kurstin. I remember the day, it was the first session we ever had. It was like a week after we met. He was supposed to his wife was supposed to give birth, like, that week. So he's like, I don't know how long we have. 2 hours. He's like, I think only 2. We could start a song today, and we did that whole entire song in, like, an hour. Because it was just fun. That's the way I looked at it. It was just doing stuff for fun.
So when you think about, now, and One is doing so well, and I believe your single in the US is going to be Obsessions, right?
Yeah.
Or Obsession.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, where do you, I mean, you say, it was just fun, but now it's getting really serious. So, I mean,
Yeah,
what is your ambition at this point? Is it a #1 record? Where do you hope to be like?
it's the #1 record is cool. That's kind of why. Well, I mean, that's why I'm doing Obsession too. It's not. I mean, I like Obsession. It's a really good pop song. But it's extremely pop, and that wasn't exactly what my goal was. I was trying to, but I was glad one came out before that, so people know that I can still do other stuff, and I want to be capable of doing like all different types of music. So, but I'm glad I get to do something like Obsession. I'm really lucky too. It's just at first I was really like bitter about it, because I wanted my songs to be on my record, so it was like a bit hard for me, but I appreciate it, and I understand I have to compromise with the people who's distributing and making it possible to have my own music out also.
But you still stand behind it.
Yeah, I very much stand behind it, and I've said it in interviews, but it's backfired on me lately, so I'm still really, it's Obsession is a funny thing. It might be my biggest song ever, which it's a sad when I think of it that way, because I always wanted it to be my song that'd be like the biggest, but I like it very much. It's really catchy and everything, so I understand.
Yeah, well, there's always a second record,
Exactly, and
So,
it just opens doors. I realize doing a record like that just opens doors to letting me start other projects too, and be able to come out with my own music without because if I guess once you have your name on the radio, I guess it kind of helps or something to put out your other stuff.
yeah,
I guess like Lady Gaga, Just Dance was completely different than Alejandro or something.
right.
Just like a 360, So I think over time she started coming out with her. I mean, obviously Just Dance was her song, but
But
it started getting creative.
it must be interesting for you, though, to now being confronted with also the business side of music and sort of the marketing decisions.
It hit me pretty hard. I was like, oh, because before it was just like I did music for fun, and somehow I got lucky into like doing it, as a profession, and then I just realized that it's not all fun all the time.
So if you look at this record that's coming out early next year,
Yeah,
the album.
I guess next year. It might be 1111.
Ooh, that's a cool date.
Yeah.
So there's you have a lot of different producers and songwriters on that record.
I think so. I think so. They're still in the process of it. I definitely have Brian Tedder.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I definitely have Bloodshed Avant, who did a majority of my record. Greg Kirsten, Dallas Austin, Paul Epworth. So yeah, pretty much everyone I worked with. I don't know about Linda Perry's yet, but if it's not going to be on that record, the song will definitely be on the next record.
That's great.
Maybe on one of those. Let's see if the album does really well. One of those like deluxe things, let's see, where you can add another like 18 tracks. Which is like the thing is, I'm so like I realize you can only have like. Well, people now only have like 8 songs, but people have like 12. Or like you can only have like a minimum of like 12 or maximum of 12. And I'm like, can I just put like 30 on the record? I don't have the money for that. Yeah.
So if you work with so many different people, I think the challenge is to make it one cohesive, one sound, sort of one idea, one cohesive piece. If you do people walk away from that album, listening to it and hearing you?
Yeah, I definitely think so. There's just so many different elements to the album because it was done over so many years now. It grows. You can tell what songs like maybe I wrote a long time ago, But that's the good thing about it. It was like it. This album or these songs that I wrote for this album, I have like about like 150 of them. Definitely, it's like my whole. I wouldn't say my childhood, but like it's my whole like high school years. Between the ages of like the prime age of your like teen years. So it says a lot of what was going on with me.
I wanted to have your quick response to a few phrases that I'm going to throw at you. So I'd love your spontaneous response in short bites. First one, fame.
Fame. It's cool. Kind of boring though. I can't, it's a bit too much. Overrated, let's say that. Fame's overrated.
Okay. Hollywood.
Hollywood. Middle school.
Gays.
Love them.
Guilty pleasure.
Robert Pattinson.
Madonna.
Top 3.
I can't leave my house without...
I can't leave my house without... my phone. My phone, sadly.
Boys.
Cute. Men are better.
January 11, 2011.
Sky Ferreira's first album ever.
That's super. Well, thank you so much. It was great chatting with you, and I really wish you just have a lot of fun with everything that's coming at you. Just roll with it.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm sure we'll meet someday in person. So
yeah, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Bye.
Bye bye.
On s'écoute la suite